Talk 1240.
I love NASCAR.
Happy Tuesday and welcome to the Sabrena and Ben Real Estate Hour here on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. I tell you, the real estate market has really been hot, hasn't it, Mark?
Very hot. What's going on?
It's been we're so busy the last week. We've had closings I'm so thankful for. Everything's selling. The only problem I've got is there's just not enough homes on the market. Inventory is down, and just to give you an idea of what's going on with the market, I'll give you the latest statistics, which is actually hot off the press. New listings in the Chattanooga region decreased 15.4%, and this includes North Georgia. Our local MLS includes North Georgia and off Chattanooga, and our new listings are down. This is at the end of July, down 15.4%. Pending sales were up 4.2%, and our overall inventory is down. It shrank 20.6%. We only have like a 4.7 month supply of inventory currently on the market. And, you know, this time last year and the year before, we had about a 10-month inventory. And, I mean, that just goes to show you, average time on the market now is 62 days. Last year, that was 4.5 months. We're down to 62 days. So, what that means is for anybody out there thinking about selling your home, you need to call Sabrena Realty.
Yep.
Because we need more homes to sell. We've made some great price reductions this week. You remember the home I was promoting last week in Frost Creek Farms. They're across from East Hamilton. You can't buy a new home anymore with a lot. They're building the homes right on top of each other, very small lots. Most of them aren't even a half acre. But this home is located at 9940 Frost Ridge. We just reduced it yesterday to $445,000. It's 5,200 square feet, 6 bedroom, 5 bath, almost 5,200 square feet for $445,000. And it's
unbelievable.
It's almost on 2 acres. And that is across from East Hamilton Middle High School. Great home for a family. If you have kids in school, they can just walk to school. Great school, too. It's
very cool neighborhood.
It's a very cool neighborhood. All custom brick home. And, you know, I've been having, as commissioner for District 7, I've been just inundated with meeting after meeting after meeting on zoning issues. It seems that there's a lot of growth. There's 3 areas that the county's looking at right now where there's tremendous growth. One is the East Brainerd-Appleton area. Also the Ottawa area, Ottawa-Georgetown area. A third area is the Saudi Daisy. These are the 3 areas where that the county's having to redesign the comprehensive growth plan because of all the growth going on currently. And, you know, our district, I think I've had like maybe 4 zoning meetings in the last month. And I just give a shout out to Sterling Jaton, pastor of Shelter Church there on East Brainerd Road. He's opened his church up to allow us to have all these meetings. And I just really appreciate him for that because it has been busy. And you know what amazes me is that on every one of these developments, the developers are saying that the price ranges are going to start at $350,000 and go up. Most of them are $350,000 to the $600,000 price range. And I just wonder where all these buyers are. I mean, where are these buyers? And I wonder, are we creating a bubble? Because I just read these statistics. Well, included in these numbers, it shows the median sales price right now is $164,500. So if the median sales price is $164,500 and all these new homes are starting at $325,000 and up, $350,000 and up, where are these buyers? I would say that what the chamber's predicting, 15,000 new people are going to be moving into Hamilton County over the next 5 years. I would say those numbers, they must really believe that's going to happen because these developers, I mean, they're building left and right and everything's $350,000 and up. So they must think that these people are really going to have good jobs, be moving in, and we know they're going to be moving to our district.
Well, that's true. I wonder, though, could it possibly be that District 7, the Appleton, East Brainerd, part of Collegedale, and part of Ooltewah, that area, is that such a new and up and coming area that people from all over the county are moving out there and freeing up their home in Hickson or Signal Mountain or something? I can't see all these jobs that they're predicting we're going to have. Are all those jobs paying that kind of money?
Well,
I mean, really, they can't be.
well, if you look at everything that we've got a call coming in right now, we are going to open up the phone lines today. 800-8949 is the number. Feel free to call today. We'll answer any questions pertaining to real estate, anything going on. Hello, caller. Thank you for calling today. How can we help you?
I have a question, please.
Okay, what's your question?
Thinking about selling my home. It's probably valued around $400,000.
Okay,
And
think
my
about selling
question
your
is,
home, and you think
on the earnest money once the home gets under contract, are there any set percentage that you should ask for if the realtor gets the earnest money? Or are there any set percentage on price of homes?
Okay, so the question, just in case our listeners can't hear you, you're thinking about putting your home on the market, and you believe your home is worth somewhere around $400,000.
Yes.
And you're thinking about earnest money when you get that offer, you want to know what kind of earnest money, what amount you should expect as a seller for that buyer to deposit. There is no rule of thumb for that. Honestly, I tend to think that the higher the sales price, the larger the deposit should be, because it's a good faith. It's a good faith deposit. It's called trust money now. It's not even termed earnest money anymore. Now it's called trust money. And what that does, if you're the buyer, that shows that seller that you are very serious about your offer. You're very serious about a purchase. And on a $400,000 home, I would think that 10% would be a good amount to put down, probably $4,000 earnest money. I think that would show that seller that you're very serious about buying that home, and it also shows them that you're probably in a good position financially to put $4,000 or $5,000 down.
Once the trust money is put there, who keeps the money?
Usually now you have some companies out there that say, "Hey, we have to hold all earnest money." I tend to believe, and I say this as a broker too, that whoever's working with that buyer should be holding the earnest money. It's whoever's representing that buyer. So if you're my seller, I've got your home listed and we get an offer, and I said 10%, I meant 1% would be $4,000. I think that would be a good amount to show that a buyer's serious. But if I'm representing you as the seller, I'm not going to fight to hold the earnest money. I feel the buyer's agent should be the one that's holding that. And keep in mind that money is held kind of in limbo. It's held in an escrow account. Most of those accounts are non-interest bearing. It just kind of sits in limbo until the property closes, and then the broker that's holding it will bring it to the closing table.
Okay.
Where do you live?
That sounds good.
Where do you live, sir? Where do you live?
Well, I live in Ooltewah.
Oh, you live in Ooltewah. Well, Ooltewah is a hot market. I think you'll find if you put your home on the market, you've got it ready to show and staged and presentable. I think you're going to find that you'll do well right now, because Ooltewah is really, really a growing market.
Sir, also, if you're wanting a little bit more information than what we can get into on the radio, you can call now at the office, Sabrena Realty, at 423-499-7780. And Harry and also Glenda are there standing by. They could answer any of your questions if you wanted to go ahead and call them and maybe dig in a little bit deeper.
And I tell you, I think Harry may be there. Harry is a hard working agent. He takes it so serious, and he represents his clients. I tell you, he's almost comical because he is. I mean, he takes it just like it's his child he's representing.
We could use 5 Harrys.
Yeah, we really could. A very hard worker, great work ethic. You should call him and let him tell you what Sabrena Realty offers. A lot of people don't know this. We don't have hidden fees. We don't have administrative fees. We're not going to charge you because you're using our copier. And also, we offer competitive commission rates. Commissions are supposed to be negotiable, but we offer competitive commission rates, and we do a lot of advertising. We make sure, just so you know, sir, 92% of buyers are finding their home on the internet. So I don't know if you were thinking about selling your home yourself or if you're going to use a realtor, but I would recommend that you do use a realtor, and because they'll make sure your home has the exposure it needs to have. And when statistics show 92% of buyers are finding their home on the internet, you've got to have a major internet presence. You want to be on every site out there. Zillow, Trulio, Realtor.com, all of them. Yes, Sabrena Realty.
Is it true that I have been told that normally if you work with a realtor, you can get more money for your home? Is that true or false?
The question was for our listeners. He wants to know if working with a realtor will likely get him more for his home, and the answer is yes. The last statistics I saw showed that a realtor will almost get you, it's about 20% more for your home than selling it yourself.
And that more than covers the commission.
It will more than cover the commission.
And it'll take a headache off of you.
It'd take a headache off of you. And anymore, you have to be careful as the seller who you're opening your home up to. You really do. You know, we haven't had any problems, but I mean, a realtor is going to make sure that whoever's looking at your home is pre-qualified. They are in a position to buy, and you're not just opening the door to anyone.
Okay. Beautiful answer. That sounds great. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
All right, sir. Give Harry a call at 499-7780.
Okay.
Something else, you know, people are wondering, they may be wondering, can I afford a home? And I pulled an interesting article up today. By the way, the phone lines are open. Those were great questions. Anybody with any questions pertaining to real estate, give us a call. 800-8949. That's 800-8949. But this article is titled, "Is Your Dream Home Out of Your Price Range?" You know, we were just talking about how all these new homes are priced $350 and up, and that sounds like such a high price range.
I'd say if you can afford it, it's not your dream home, or you don't have a big enough dream.
Good point. Yeah. But anyway, is your dream home out of your price range? Well, here's some tips for you. You shouldn't give up. If you like that home that's priced $350 and you're thinking your budget's $200,000, here's some advice for you on not giving up. Don't give up until you go through these steps. First of all, negotiate the price. Everything is always negotiable. And you never know what that seller's position is. Are they relocating? Are they going through a divorce? They may be more negotiable than you think. You never know. And, you know, I always tell buyers, you know, we'll make them an offer. You can always come up. You can never go down. And you never know how negotiable that seller's going to be, or what their position is, or how bad they really need to sell. So negotiate the price. At least go for it and try.
Worst thing they can do is say no, and then you've got something going, and you hopefully can work out something.
Exactly. You can work the programs. There are a wide variety of programs out there, particularly down payment assistance, that buyers may not even be aware of or know nothing about. The down payment assistance programs aren't always for low income. You don't always have to be in a low income category to qualify. You may discover a first time home buyer program that can make your home of choice more affordable by providing assistance with the closing costs or the down payment. You never know. That's why it's important to get with a very good lender that has options, has different loans available, has a variety, and see what's available. There may be something you never dreamed of available. This third piece of advice is massage that mortgage. The biggest mistake that a majority of people make is blindly asking for a 30-year fixed mortgage. Everybody thinks, 30-year mortgage, 15-year mortgage. Well, for a young couple or a millennial, a better option might be a 5 or 7 or 10-year adjustable rate mortgage. And what that means is you come in, you get a loan, adjustable rate. It may start off at 3%, a really low rate, and it may be locked in for 5 years. And at the end of that 5th year, it may go up, and it may go up 1% or something. It's usually not a drastic hike.
And that's not a balloon.
It's not a balloon.
Okay, because a balloon is something you probably want to stay away from.
Exactly. This is so an adjustable rate mortgage. I know there's some out there. People don't really talk about them anymore because they kind of got a bad rap during all the subprime lending. But if it can get you in that home that you want, your dream home, and you can get in there because you're getting an upfront, very low interest rate, then what you can do is get in the home and plan for the next 5 years how you're going to refinance. And then maybe get a 30-year mortgage at that time. But if it's going to get you in the home, it's an option to look at, especially if you are anticipating that you may, be moving up within your company, getting promotions, raises. But as long as you plan, there's a lot of options out there. Number 4 piece of advice, check for ways this home itself could save you money. Sometimes a more expensive house payment will allow you to save in other areas. So you have to ask yourself, how important is having this home to me? Because if it's very important, you're going to make it a priority. And you're going to find a way. If it means cutting out, a couple movies a month or eating out 3 or 4 days a week, maybe skipping out on doing a family vacation for the next couple of years. Anyway, you're going to find a way to make it work. If having that home is actually your dream home and it is top priority, then you're going to find a way to make it work.
That's true.
Put the decision into perspective. On one hand, you don't want to be done, but if the home is truly out of budget, then you probably don't need to buy it. Maybe you need to save for it. So you have to keep everything into perspective.
I'm a big fan of writing stuff down on paper. Just getting a sheet of paper, a pencil, pen, and writing down your budget, how much you've got coming in each month after taxes. Figure out what that house payment's going to be realistic on clothing, food, entertainment, and see. Because,
exactly.
A lot of things you think, oh, yeah, I can handle $1,200 payment. Well, right now, you're living with mom and dad if you're a millennial, and you're still spending everywhere else. Do you really have enough to be able to add $1,200? A lot of people end up with too much month left at the end of the money.
That's true. You remember just a few weeks ago, we were on here talking about very easy things you can give up to save money. People think they can't afford a house, but if you look at where you're spending your money in areas where you may be wasting that you could cut back, you'd be surprised how quick you can get into a position to buy a home. How many people are going to Starbucks every single day, some twice a day? And I used to be guilty of that myself. I cut that out. Eating out. Eating out.
That's a big one.
Take a sandwich or something like that. If you just cut eating out every day, if you sit down and looked at your budget and took out going to the movies, maybe even cable.
Well, or why don't you go to a little cheap theater?
Oh, yeah.
Out there at Hamilton Place. It looks like they're even redoing that one. You don't have to go to the $12.50 or $16 prime time.
What too? Netflix. How much is Netflix now a month?
I think somewhere around $9 or $10 would be the basic, and it might go up from there. But cable's $100 bill, I'm sure.
Yeah. So join Netflix. Maybe cut out your cable and cut out that 2 trips a month to the movie, because what's a movie now? I don't even know, because I
think
I go to the cheap theater.
Yeah, the cheap theater, but it's probably every bit of $10 or $12. And of course, if you like the experience, that 3D, that knocks you up to probably $16.
Exactly.
So 2 of those, there's $32.
So you can join Netflix for like $9 a month, and then I guess get unlimited movies.
Well, and, used to Netflix was, you get online, you pick what you want, they send it to you, it's in your mailbox a couple of days later.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can do it over the internet.
Yeah.
So you can sign up, you can instantly watch it. So, and a lot of these miniseries and stuff,
yeah,
a lot of the shows, that's also on Netflix. Not just promote Netflix, but the point is that there's a lot of ways to cut out and still have a life and still do some fun things.
There are a lot of things, and that coffee trip every month, that eating out, trip to the movies, even clothes. I meet more and more people. It's so funny. I meet more and more people. I was just talking to a lady this past week, and she said, actually, it was a client I closed with. She said, I buy all my clothes at Goodwill. She said, I do not go anywhere and pay full price. And, really, that's become very popular. It's almost a fad in eBay. How many times can you go to a store, find something, $50, and you go to eBay, look through eBay, and it's $25, half the price.
Well, and a lot of times on eBay and even at Goodwill, the tags are still on the item.
That's amazing.
Paid full price, put it in their closet, and a year later, they're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
They never wore it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of resale shops too. I mean, I think shopping smart. So anyone thinking about buying a home, there are ways you can cut back. It is so easy. And we've got a call coming in, and we're down to about 2 minutes. We may have to see if this caller can hold on until after the break,
or go ahead and
get them. All right, let's go ahead and get their question. Hello, caller. Thank you for calling today.
Yes, I was calling. I was wanting to know, what is the best thing I can do to prepare my house for selling? What is it that people are going to walk in and look at that I can spend the money most effectively to prepare the house, that the lady of the house, the man of the house is going to come in and say, that's going to grab their attention first?
Great question. The call was this, and we're going to probably have to answer it, sir, after the break, but I thank you for calling AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. The question is, if I'm wanting to sell my home, what is the best advice you can give me on how to prepare my home? What is the most important thing when someone walks in? What do I need to do to sell my home? Sir, if you'll join us after the break, I'm going to come back and answer that question.
It is a great question.
It's a great question, and it's got a long answer. So if you'll join me after the break, I'm going to come back and answer that, because there's a series of things you can do. But
thank you for calling in, caller.
For anyone,
have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too. Enjoy the sunshine. For anyone thinking about buying a home or selling a home, though, they need to call Sabrena Realty Associates, 423-499-7780. That's 499-7780. Let one of our professionals talk to you about coming out, maybe setting up a free consultation. Also, we have some great listings. You better check them out while they last, because things are selling quick. SabrenaRealty.com. And after the break, we're going to come back, answer the caller's question. I think Ben Phillips with Home Rate Mortgage will be joining us. You can call Ben if you need to get pre-qualified, 423-805-9100. That's 805-9100. One of the professionals at Home Rate Mortgage would love to hear from you. Join us back here in just a few minutes.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hi, I'm Sabrena with Sabrena Realty Associates. Now is a great time to sell your home. In our area, inventory is at an all-time low, which translates into higher sales prices. Call us today at 423-499-7780 to set up a free consultation and discuss our unique and aggressive marketing programs. We will provide you with a free market analysis to determine the right value of your home. Call us today at 423-499-7780 or visit our website at SabrenaRealty.com.
In the middle of our street, We're at the Cantina at Amigos Mexican Restaurant. Yes, sir. 2 orders of nachos with beef and beans, 2 beers. Chattanooga loves its Amigos restaurants, but the Amigos in Hickson has something extra. NASCAR, every race. How about a house wine? Really good. Big name beers, just tell Maria what you want. And here at Amigos, margaritas are popular, and it's only $3 all day. If you come here on a race day, Sunday, a Natty Light is only $2.25. Here at Amigos, just during NASCAR, Natty Light, $2.25. Amigos Mexican Restaurant in Hickson. The happy hour is 3 to 9 today and every day. I'd say the atmosphere is festive. Look at that huge TV. It's like being amid the fans under a bright sun, but no gasoline fumes, no heat. Stay cool. Quench your thirst. Amigos between Staples and Hobby Lobby. Take the next table to mine. Enjoy the NASCAR race with friend or family here at the Cantina at Amigos Mexican Restaurant. Okay, it started.
Drivers, start your engines.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. Ooltewah rape case update. 3 juvenile suspects who were arrested and charged in December for the rape of Ooltewah freshman basketball players in Gatlinburg are now set to go on trial in Sevier County Juvenile Court today. The 3 suspects are accused of assaulting 4 freshman players with a pool cue and what was initially called a hazing incident now being called the Ooltewah rape case. The victim was just 15 years old. A Chattanooga man has now been added to the TBI Top 10 Most Wanted after he was released by a judge and then a higher court rescinded that order of release. The man's name is Jareem Daniel Little. He's 40 years old. He's 6'1", about 278 pounds, a black male with black hair and brown eyes. TBI is wanting him. There's a $1,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Cops say a 28-year-old woman set her boyfriend's house on fire with their young baby just 10 feet away from that fire. Investigators say the woman could have been a threat to herself and others while she was on the run. She's now behind bars. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Expect lots of sunshine out there through the afternoon, heating up again, highs into the lower 90s. Tonight, fair, lows back into the upper 60s to near 70. For Wednesday, hot and dry with lots of sun, highs 92 to 95. Could see an isolated shower or storm possible Thursday. Not too many, though, with highs near 90. This forecast is brought to you by Vicks, DayQuil, and NyQuil. From Procter & Gamble, available almost everywhere. That's Vicks, DayQuil, and NyQuil. And I'm 1412 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Sabrena and Ben Hour here on 1240 AM Hot News Talk Radio. And Ben is here in the studio live. Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you.
You've ever been out doing that $1 million deal. That better be why you
How did you know?
Hey, Ben came in here and he's looking at us and he's wanting to choke Mark and I for talking about adjustable rate mortgages.
But no, I think it brings up a good point, though. I chop off my arm right now, but adjustable rate mortgages do serve a purpose, and
they do.
Just like every buyer out there, they're out there looking for information online, and there's information out there saying, "Hey, go get an adjustable rate mortgage." Well, if you can save $50 a month, is that going to make or break you? But when it adjusts $200, $300 up 5 years from now, is that going to make or break you?
Very good point.
And that's why, again, you can go online and you can go shop for a home online. You can go shop online for a mortgage, but the online information is not necessarily something that we need to be believing in.
Well, and two, an adjustable rate mortgage is something you would want short term. It's not anything you would want long term. It would be short term, which in this article, the advice was to get in your dream home.
Right. And $50 extra will get you $10,000 more.
Yeah.
In price. It will, because it goes up about $5 per per 10,000.
Exactly.
So more. But at the end of the day, it's about especially for Southerners and people here in Tennessee, we don't like future issues in our budget.
Right.
We want that. We're a pay-as-you-go.
We're
state.
conservative.
We have conservative values, and we want to make sure that our future is taken care of. We don't want to cut corners.
Exactly.
We're not just, look, this is an opinion.
Well, but I think you're making a great point. to do something now to benefit you $50, yeah, really weigh that out and see. But what potentially could be going on in 5 years, and whether you like it or not, right, wrong, or indifferent, we're in a global economy. When something happens in Finland, when an earthquake hits somewhere, it does affect us here.
Right.
And if enough things happen 5 years down the road, that adjustable rate may put you out of your home. I mean, it really could. So I guess the moral of the story is just because you found it on the internet, that doesn't mean it's a reliable source.
And two, we don't know.
No doubt.
We don't know how long the rates are going to stay low. That's why I tell everybody, hey, you better act and act now. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to put our house on the market. Before we jump into this, let me answer that last caller, because we had a call right before the break. Gentleman's thinking about putting his home on the market, and he wanted to know where his primary focus should be in getting his home ready to be shown.
Well, and this is a very a neat topic right now, because we're going through that ourselves.
We're going through it ourselves.
We're going to be doing some things not be recommendable for other people.
Yeah.
Because
but we're going to do it.
But it's because I can do it. And if a homeowner could do it themselves.
That's true. That's true.
But go ahead and get in.
Well, Mark and Ben, we use because you were just talking about us being conservative here in Tennessee, we use a very cost-effective approach with our clients. We just do. Building materials, we were talking about those new construction prices are starting at $350 and up. And part of the reason is the cost of building. Building materials are astronomical. So any major renovation is going to cost the seller probably more than they will ever get back in return when they sell their home. So you have to be very smart, and you have to use a cost-effective approach. So I always say, first impression is a lasting impression. From the time that buyer pulls into your driveway and enters, what is pressure washing your driveway? Nothing. Pressure washing your exterior. If you have, siding or something like that, make sure it looks well. Make sure all the cobwebs are removed.
In the corners, yep.
Fresh mulch. I mean, these are easy things. Exactly. And it makes such a difference.
Clean the plants out of the gutter. It's amazing. And I mean,
he notices that.
We almost laugh about it, but there are a lot of little itty bitty little plants, 6-8 inches tall, growing up out of a gutter, and it could be no big deal, but it says something to a potential buyer.
It sure does. And make sure the weeds are out of your landscape and put some fresh mulch. Pressure wash. Remove the cobwebs. Then you come into the home. Make sure you declutter. I tell everybody, it's amazing what you can do to just go through, and you can stage your own home. Okay. You want a buyer to come in and be able to visualize and place their furniture in your living room or bedroom. One thing you can do, and it's just going to make it easier on you, Mr. or Miss Seller, when you do move,
right,
is if you box up some stuff, get it out of the way, go stack it out in the garage, get a pod, a storage building. I mean, rent a storage building for a month or two.
The first month's free.
I mean, exactly. And we just said that the average time on the market right now is 62 days. So you're probably not going to have to rent it over a month or two. Exactly. But declutter, make sure you dust, make sure your baseboards are clean, make sure that your floors are clean.
Clean laundry room.
If you've got handprints all over the wall, either wipe them off or paint. Painting does not cost a lot. Now, there's some sweat equity involved, but it doesn't cost a lot to get a gallon of paint. And the difference it makes, it's returns. You get a big return when you sell your home. So it's worth it. And those are very cost-effective ways to get your home ready. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I think nice, neutral, warm colors.
Sand.
Yeah.
Those type of neutral things that folks can go off the beaten path with other colors, and it'll actually.
Been in homes, and this drives me crazy. You go in one room, and I'm sorry if I insult anyone out there, but you go in one room, it's turquoise. You go in another room, it's burgundy. You go in another room, it's pink. And my head's spinning by the time I get through the house.
Well, I can understand if you got 3 kids and the girl wants a Little Mermaid pink room and the guy's into Star Wars. But when you've decided we're selling our home, drop the emotion. It's now a building. It's now
a business
home
decision
that you've got to sell. And pink and blue and purple, 3 different bedrooms. it messes with people.
And depersonalize. I mean, I know those family photos mean that they mean everything to all of us, but you can't have those photos displayed everywhere. You have to depersonalize your home because people come in there, and I'm telling you, you've seen this, Ben, too. They get fixated on the picture. Do I know this person? You
I've
know,
done it myself. So
I know. So, I mean, remove those. Anything, too, that could be offensive because people just, it's amazing what can turn someone off. So, neutral's always good.
Right. And that's the sand colors that we're talking about. And they sell all kinds of them. Sand 1, sand 2, sand 3.
Yeah.
So just something, it's almost like a brown, like a tan.
White trim, it pops.
Sure.
That's
looks
true.
Good.
But that was a great question. And I say anything that will make your house more presentable, make sure it's very clean, declutter, box things up, remove personal items, and just remember from the time that buyer pulls into your driveway, first impression is everything. And it's a lasting impression too. And just think how you can alleviate stress by selling your home quick,
and that is the goal here. I mean, think about it. We're talking about someone that wants to sell their home. What's first and foremost? The goal is that they want to make the most amount of money on their home. They want to get a return on that investment that they have.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't you, if you don't want to put the work into it, then you really can't expect to get special results.
Exactly.
So it's about understanding what you really want here. And what you want is you want to sell the home. You want to sell it appropriately and quickly. And just follow these tips. These are not hard tips, but folks do miss out on when you live in the same place for a long time.
Yeah.
You start missing. For example, those baseboards can get dirty on you without you noticing.
Yeah,
they can.
And spend $100 for someone to professionally do it, maybe $200 all throughout the house, but you get $3,000 to $5,000 more on your home. I call that a big profit.
You were talking last week about painting your home. Did you find someone to come paint it?
I sure did. I got a couple quotes, and I actually had one of the big companies come out. I think we had mentioned them last week, and they gave me an offer. And then I went on Google and said, who are the best painters in Chattanooga? And it came up a gentleman, and he had 102 reviews.
Wow, that's awesome.
I went to his website, and it said he'd get us a quote within 24 hours. And, so we did that, and we just signed a contract. We're excited.
That's awesome. Right. That's awesome. Well, we have kind of a goal to have our house on the market by next spring, don't we, Mark? So,
I guess we do.
So Mark's got his projects laid out for the fall and the winter, but I'm lucky because he can do the work. So it's worth us doing some things because he can do the work, which saves me a lot of labor costs.
Right.
Well, and for those do-it-yourselfers, there's a lot of things that you can do. I mean, we were at Southeastern Salvage.
Yep.
And when you look at the laminate flooring together,
yeah,
that stuff, now granted, you can't always go and get the exact color you want, but if they've got something there and it will work for your room or your home, it's pennies on the dollar for what it would cost to have a professional go buy it at Lowe's and come do it. So if you can do that, you can go right, the laminate flooring, you can go right over the linoleum in the kitchen, and now all of a sudden the kitchen is totally different.
Popping.
You may have $200, $300, $400. So that kind of stuff you can, I've always heard, and you guys will kind of get this, I may have even said it before, but the quickest way to improve the value of your home by 10 grand is to sink 30 into the kitchen.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you're not going to get back the full return, but if you can do something a little bit more than just paint, you can get that back. And, a couple of pots on the front porch with some flowers.
Yeah.
That just
nice
makes the
wreath.
statement. Yeah.
A nice wreath. Yeah. And then smells too. Do you ever walk into a home though and the smell just blows you away? It's nice to have, ideally bake some cookies and have that nice cookie smell.
Don't have a cookie smelling candle.
or
microwave broccoli.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what's pet odors? I mean, I know so many people have pets.
Right.
Do they not? And I mean, I love my dog. She's like part of the family, and we can't imagine not having her. But you've got to be very careful of those pet odors too. And people that live in a home, they get accustomed to the smell,
right?
And you're almost immune to it.
Right.
But for someone who's visiting, you
They're
know,
gonna pick up on that right away.
So you've got to be very conscientious of all that.
You do.
And you know, speaking of selling a home, Ben, we were kind of thinking, we've been toying around with the idea back and forth. And so finally we said, okay, we know we want to sell. So now's the time. We want to take advantage as a buyer of those low interest rates.
Right.
And so I'm hoping and praying that next March or when we do put the home on the market in the spring,
the rates are still awesome.
Absolutely. And we don't know. You know, I'm a very positive thinker and I know God's in control, but we don't know what's going to happen in November with this election. We really do not know. That's why I really wish we were in a position to sell our home now. But, you know, I was at a closing Friday, and while I'm sitting there at the closing, the rates went up 1/8%. While we're sitting at the closing table, I'm like,
and they
wow.
went back down yesterday.
Okay, good. What are you hearing? What are you anticipating? And I know you don't have a crystal ball and you can't look into the future. And I know you're like me. You're a very positive thinker, and we're going to make it regardless because we're going to find a way to continue to do business. And so what are your thoughts about the rate?
Well, when rates went down in 2011, 12, when rates started going down because of everything, we didn't think it was going to last very long.
Yeah.
We were thinking 6 months, a year, because it's not just controlled by the government's ability to buy additional bonds and create demand, which in turn creates it makes the price higher, which makes the rates lower because they're inversely related. But you can do, it's still a real market.
Yeah.
If all these outside players that, you know, we are in a global economy, you just said that, Mark.
Yeah.
When someone stops investing in American bonds, then the price goes down because there's less demand for those bonds that we've put out there. Then the price on the bonds goes down, rates go up. That's the market. That's not something we just can control. So we've been thinking for 4 years that rates are going to go up, but what we didn't take into consideration was that there are things globally going on. Other countries are still feeling the impact of that global recession that we've been in.
Absolutely.
Now, with that said, the global recession is going to continue for some time, and the countries will pick up their feet, and there'll be more countries that have issues. But the tide will change. You know, the sun will come up for the globe, and then you're going to see those rates rise. If we're talking about next year, I hope that rates stay low, but I'll give you this fact. On a $250,000 mortgage, a 4.5% versus a 3.5%, which is where rates are right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
For this data, it saves you the 3.5% over the 4.5%, $75,000.
That's unbelievable.
On a 30-year loan.
It's unbelievable.
When you do the math on that, it is so significant and that's the reason why folks are refinancing right now.
Yeah.
Because they're in that 4.5%, they've got more equity, and they're able to call us and get that. So that's the issue with our business right now is we're getting a lot of purchase business because the purchase market's hot, and then we're getting a lot of refinance business.
Absolutely.
Because folks need to take advantage. We've been doing 4.5% rates in the past.
Yeah.
And rates came down further and further.
And that is a phenomenal rate. You know, I was talking to some builders because we were talking before you came in, all the new development, all of them are like the price point's $350 and up, $350 and up. And I was asking these builders last night, oh my goodness. I mean, what happens if the rates start going up? Where are these buyers? Especially when the median sales price is about $165. Where are these buyers? Because right now, buyers can take advantage of that very low interest rate. We were talking about, you know, buying your dream home and being able to afford your dream home. Well, right now, because the rates are so low, buyers can buy more.
Right.
In terms of, you know, what they're spending on a home. So when those rates start going up, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. And so folks can see that opportunity. 75,000 is real money.
That's a lot of money.
But I want to get into the reason why you want to buy, because there's the study that most folks, the millennials especially, and everyone, they want to be homeowners.
Yeah.
There is a desire to be a homeowner.
Yeah.
But my question is why? And I was on the Economist blog just the other day, and they were saying that, you know, the average homeowner, and I've looked at this data for years, the average homeowner is worth $200,000 net.
Yeah.
That's what their worth is.
Yeah.
The average renters, listen up. The average renter is worth $5,000.
Wow.
So think about this. The difference is what?
Well, because they're making their landlord rich.
Right. That's right.
what
and,
they're
we,
doing.
and, we, and we preach that. And
That's exactly.
this is what we're actually preaching about.
Exactly.
And it's, everybody wants to be a fan of the winner at the end of the season.
Yeah.
We all want our team to win, go Vols. We all want ours to be the champion. Well, the same thing is true when you're living life.
Yeah.
Okay. We're here on this life we're here on earth for a purpose. We all are looking for that purpose. And one of the things that we do is we go to work every day and we go earn a living. Mm-hmm. And obviously, in order to survive so that you can go to work, you have to have a car and to get some type of transportation.
Yeah.
And then even more so, you have to have a shelter. And you have to have shelter because and Bear Grylls says that shelter is more important than food.
Oh yeah.
Without shelter, you'll die of hypothermia, is what he said on his show. And I was like, Mom, that's fascinating. I would have thought you need to go find water first. He's like, no, you got to get shelter first because the elements will kill you quickly. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because still 90-something% of people want to be homeowners. And the reason why needs to be talked about more.
Oh yeah.
Homeowners are more successful because the value of homeownership is it's in the facts. Renters are going to be paying a penalty for renting. Mm-hmm. You're giving away your money to a landlord.
Yeah.
And that is what you're doing. You're making others rich. So the reason why this shelter is important and you've got to do it right. And there's something about it.
I think investing in something that belongs to you. I mean, you actually have something to show for all that hard work, going to your job every day. And it's self-fulfillment. I mean, you feel good. And two, have you noticed homeowners take care of their investment? Renters don't care as much, and nothing against them, but I mean, they don't care as much about taking care of the property because it's not theirs.
The value of rentals goes down over time.
So, I mean, it means so much more. I'll tell you something, Ben, you would have loved this. I went just the other day and met some guys, very impressive young guys, entrepreneurs, building the tiny homes. And I was like, wow. I mean, you go in there and they've got a market for this. These things cost $40,000 to $80,000. This might be something you want to get involved in. I said, right now there's no lending in place for them. So people are having to pay for them, which when your market's a millennial, you wonder how they come up with that kind of money. But these tiny homes, it's amazing. They were customizing one they were about to ship out. I mean, very small kitchen, small sink. I mean, this thing's
it's all one room.
It's unreal. It's all one room. And you have to climb up steps. It's almost like a box car. That's what it's like. A very fancy box car. And then you climb up these steps to lay in your bunk or anything. If you sit up and you're real tall, you're going to hit your head. But it was just amazing and fascinating to me. But there's a market for this.
Right.
And they see that trend growing, which is just amazing.
Well, that is amazing. It blows my mind. But anyway, I digress.
I digress as well.
for millennials, and not just millennials, not just the young, but for people that are renting, and it's because they don't want to deal with the yard. They don't want to have to deal with, do I need a new roof, gutters? There's condos, there's townhomes where you're paying a certain fee, and it's taking care of the outside, and it's taking care of the maintenance of the yard and weed eating. And if the picket fence rots, it gets fixed. So don't think that buying a home as opposed to renting means now all of a sudden all your free time is going to go to keeping this thing up, because there are different options.
Well, buy a home with low maintenance. Buy a brick home where there's no exterior maintenance, virtually hardly at all. Buy something that's been remodeled or renovated that has a new roof, has new windows, has a new heat and air unit. You're not going to have to
buy ours in the spring.
Exactly. But I mean, if you buy something like that, you're not going to have to maintain that. Right. I mean, you've got to maintain anything. I mean, you got to wash your car. You got to change the oil. You're going to have to change your heat and air filters.
But you will take the pride when it's yours, when you know it's yours.
Yeah.
there's something, and I truly believe in my heart that the homeowners are worth $200,000 and renters are worth $5,000.
It's a different mindset.
It changes your mindset. What you own, just like the kids with their first car, they're washing it every single day. They're waxing.
I remember.
There's a pride in having something that's yours. So.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, owning a home, I just can't imagine renting, making the landlord rich. I can't imagine. And for anybody thinking about buying a home or anybody that's sick of making their landlord rich, how do they get in touch with you to get pre-approved for a mortgage?
It's a simple 10-minute phone call.
That's right.
And
you can do all this over the phone.
We can.
Tell them how to reach you.
805-9100. It's a local call right here in Chattanooga. It's also toll free if you're not in Chattanooga right now. 844-805-9100. You can call us toll free. And in 10 minutes, hey, you'll be on your way to saving money. You'll have an idea of what's going on. Folks, 1240 a.m., Hot News Talk Radio.
Once you get them pre-qualified, they need to call us. 499-7780, 499-7780. We'll put them in that dream home. Join us next Tuesday here, AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. We're here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great week.
See you next week.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Listen up, y'all. Ben Phillips, Home Rate Mortgage, 805-9100. I'm in the business of saving people money. And if you want to save money, pick that cell phone up right now, 805-9100. I received a call that I won't forget. The guy is a Chattanooga police officer who served our great country in the Air Force. A true American hero. Our hero is renting, which costs too much for a space too small. We helped him achieve the American dream. And the best part is this. He purchased a